Good morning, students. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about photoelectric effect. The emission of electrons from the metal surface when light of suitable frequency falls on it is termed as photoelectric effect. The emitted electrons are called photoelectrons. In 1885, it was Heinrich Hertz who first observed photoelectric effect. The experimental setup for the photoelectric effect is shown in the figure. It consists of two electrodes connected to a variable power supply. The whole setup is enclosed in an evacuated quartz window so that electromagnetic radiation can pass through it. Hertz found that when a UV light of suitable frequency incident on the metal surface, a deflection is shown in the ammeter. The deflection means that a current is passing through the circuit. This was the observation of Hertz about photoelectric effect. This relation between light and electricity was clarified by German physicist Leonhard Philipp in 1902. He demonstrated that electrically charged particles liberated from the metal surface during photoelectric effects are identical to electrons. Following observations were noticed during his experiments. First one, for a given metal, there is a minimum frequency above which photoelectric effect takes place. Such frequency is called threshold frequency. If the frequency of incident radiation is below threshold frequency, no matter the intensity for how long the radiation falls on the surface, no photoelectrons will be emitted. Second one, the emission of photons takes place simultaneously. That is, there is no time delay between the incidence of radiation and emission of photoelectrons. Also, the emission of photoelectrons does not depend on intensity of the incident radiation. Third one, maximum kinetic energy of photoelectrons depends on the frequency of radiation and is independent of intensity. Last, rate of emission of photoelectrons is proportional to the intensity of radiation. These were the observations made by Leonhard during his experiment. But according to classical theory, since energy of wave depends on the intensity, a dim light after some delay could transfer sufficient energy to electrons, whereas a bright light would eject electron after a short while. But we can see that there is no time delay between the incidence and emission of radiation. So classical theory could not explain this observation. Also, if light of higher intensity is used, the electrons are emitted with higher kinetic energy. But the observation shows that kinetic energy is independent of intensity of radiation. So, classical theory could not explain the experimental observation made by Leonhard Philipp about photoelectric effect. So, classical theory failed at this point. In 1905, Albert Einstein successfully explained photoelectric effect based on quantum ideas. This indeed led to a scientific war between Einstein and Leonhard, who was a strong supporter of Hitler. Albert Einstein explained photoelectric effect on the basis of quantum mechanics. He assumed that electromagnetic radiation is emitted or absorbed in discrete packets of energy called quanta or photon. That is E equal to nh nu, where h is the Planck's constant and nu is the frequency. Thus, there is a minimum amount of energy when a light of sufficient energy strikes a metal surface. A part of its energy is used to liberate an electron from the metal surface. We all know that electrons are held in the atoms due to the electromagnetic force of attraction between nucleus and electron. So, to remove an electron from the metal, we have to do some work. So, a part of incident energy is used to liberate an electron from the metal surface. The remaining energy is imparted to the liberated electron as its kinetic energy, so that electrons are ejected out of the metal with great speed. If an incident radiation have an energy h nu is incident on a metal surface, a part of energy equal to h nu 0 is used to liberate an electron from its metallic surface, and other part appears as its kinetic energy half mv square. That is h nu equal to h nu 0 plus half mv square. The minimum amount of energy needed to free an electron from the metal surface is termed as work function, which is denoted as h nu 0. Based on this explanation, we can see that photons are emitted only if the incident radiation has a minimum energy equal to h nu 0, where nu 0 is the threshold frequency. Since energy is imparted to electrons immediately on striking, there is no time delay between incidence and emission of electrons. And also, it is independent of intensity of the emitted radiation. The figure shows a graph between kinetic energy and frequency. You can see that for different metals, threshold frequency is different. So, only if the incident radiation has an energy greater than the work function, photoelectric emission takes place. If we increase the negative potential of the experimental setup, it will repel the photoelectrons emitted. So, the minimum negative potential required to stop the most energetic electron is termed as stopping potential. That is, kinetic energy half mv square is equal to EVS, where Vs is the stopping potential. Using this equation, we can rewrite the above equation as h nu equal to h nu 0 plus EVS. This equation represents a straight line with a slope equal to Planck's constant. It was Robert Millikan who verified Einstein's equation through his oil drop experiment. He calculated the value of Planck's constant accurately from his experiment and verified that Einstein's equation was correct. In terms of wavelength, we can rewrite the equation as hc by lambda equal to hc by lambda 0 plus EVS. But according to theory of relativity, we have E square equal to C square P square plus M0 square C raised to 4, where M0 is the rest mass. In the case of a photon, rest mass of a photon is 0. So this equation becomes E equal to Cp. Thus, we can notice that this equation contains particle concept, that is in terms of momentum and energy, and wave concept in terms of frequency nu and wavelength lambda, gives us the first hint towards wave-particle duality or dual nature of matter. That is, matter can have both wave and particle nature. This single equation, written in a sheet of paper, banked Einstein a Nobel Prize in 1921. The significance of this equation is that it is the first equation which points towards the dual nature of matter. Hope you understood. Thank you.